Over the past 2 years, Canoo has burned through $800 million of investors' cash. In 2023, the company delivered exactly 22 vehicles for a total of $882,000. In the process, they also lost a total of $302 million. Now they have admitted that without further funding, the company cannot continue. Unfortunately, the company's CEO is doing some erratic things that are causing investors to believe it's not going to be a wise decision to try and bail them out. One of my favorite videos that I ever had the pleasure of making, and you guys actually really enjoyed that video, I read the comments and they were really positive, was when I made a video about Canoo's electric pickup truck. It's one of the most practical vehicles I've ever seen in my life. I absolutely love it. I've seen a teaser video since then. That was about a year ago. Then I saw a new teaser video recently. But unfortunately, Canoo appears more likely to go bankrupt before that vehicle ever becomes a reality, which I have to say does make me quite sad. I really would love to own one. Hello my friends, welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching The Electric Viking. It's great to see you. This is not a clickbait video in any way, shape or form. I genuinely believe that a company very likely to go bankrupt in America, possibly the next electric car company to go bankrupt because it doesn't have enormous financial backing from Saudi Arabia like Lucid, is Canoo. The reason is this. The CEO of Canoo is a dead set muppet. Now, hopefully he doesn't go out and try and get this video to give me some sort of copyright strike and get it removed from YouTube, and that's going to affect the channel. That would suck. But he might do that considering what he just did. Canoo has responded to media reports following its Q4 2023 financial results released this week, says Tesserati, after one outlet said the commercial vehicle maker, their revenue forecast disappointed. In a press release shared recently, Canoo reported its Q4 and full year 2023 financials, which are, they're bad. But what was even worse is what they did after this. Stick with me. GAAP net loss and comprehensive loss of $29 million for Q4 and $303 million loss for the full year. These figures were down from the GAAP net loss and comprehensive loss of $80 million and $488 million in 2022. In addition, Canoo forecasts between $50 million and $100 million in 2024 revenue. In other words, it's forecasting it's barely going to sell anything this year. Reuters said that was well below forecasts of expectations of $152.5 million from analysts. So analysts thought, Canoo's finally going to start making something this year. They're going to sell some vehicles and they're going to bring in revenue of $152.5 million. Canoo said, no, we're not going to do that. We'll sell a few, but 50 to $100 million. The report connected results to a larger slowdown in consumer electric vehicle market, adding that Canoo had warned for the 8th straight quarter about its dwindling capital and ability to continue as a going concern without funding. Canoo is saying, without funding, we can't continue. It's very black and white. This is not in any way me exaggerating. So let's just calm it down if you love Canoo. I'm sorry, my friend, but they're saying they can't continue unless they get some sort of big injection of cash. Now, do you want to put a bunch of money into this company when they've made nothing so far other than a bunch of great looking cars? They look great, but not actual production vehicles. Following the news, Canoo shares dropped 38%. So the market is getting tired. They're saying, you know what? You haven't really done anything yet. But this isn't my biggest problem with Canoo. Wait for it. Canoo responded in a LinkedIn post saying it was more than a little disappointed that the company hadn't been asked to comment by the media. It's more than a little disappointed. What? I mean, try being Tesla. There's the amount of stuff that's just made up about them every day. Yeah, some of it's legit, but a lot of it's not. I mean, holy smokes, Canoo, you've got thinnest skin I've ever seen. The automaker pointed out that Reuters had incorrectly labelled it as being in the consumer market. It's not in the consumer market, though it has only worked with commercial customers so far and has generally been targeting commercial customers. Now, that's also a red flag for me. Canoo is saying it's not in the consumer market. In other words, it doesn't have any real plans to produce the vehicles that people invested in the company for. That's why people got excited about Canoo. The Bulldog, right? The pickup, the ute, the truck. I had heaps of views on that video. People loved it. People thought it was great. And it's not just my video either. There's heaps of other videos of people showing that vehicle saying, look at this thing. We want one of these. It's practical. It has a big tray bed. It's got the biggest tray of any vehicle of that size in the world. But it's also practical in terms of the interior space for its occupants. It's the most logical pickup truck ever designed. And Canoo is saying, oh, we're not a commercial, we're not a consumer product maker. What? You just released a video a month ago showing your consumer products. Weird. Had Reuters called Canoo to comment, we would have told them that we raised $324 million in 2022 and $288 million in 2023. Okay, you raised a lot of money, so you raised $600 million in those 2 years. And they say, we are currently in discussions with several entities and individuals about investing in the company this year. I think that sounds like no one wants to pony up any more money for this company that they think has admitted cannot continue without another $300 million to burn through this year. They went on to say, we would have also told them that we have begun manufacturing, expect to step up our manufacturing effort this year, and have a backlog of orders. And that we are not in the consumer market. We are in the commercial market. We are not in the consumer market, directly from Canoo. That pickup truck you've been seeing, the one that everyone's viewed, the only vehicle that the company makes that anyone's actually interested in, they're not making it. Or maybe they'll make a few for commercial customers. Yeah, I don't know what that means, but anyway. It's one thing to have a backlog of orders. I mean, everyone's had it. Nikola had a backlog of orders. What do they do with that? Nothing. Anyway. In addition, Canoo highlighted the fact that the company's executives firmly believe in the company's future, adding that CEO Tony Aquila has personally contributed to the automaker. Has he? Has Tony? Well, here's what Tony just did. Tony decided to use company funds, nearly $1 million. Tony decided to use company funds, $1.7 million US, after the company has hemorrhaged $600 million on a private jet. He thought a private jet was necessary. That somehow producing vehicles was less important than purchasing his own luxurious private jet. I don't understand this. These guys don't have a factory in China. They don't have a factory in, Mexico or Saudi Arabia or anywhere else. They only have a place that's meant to be making vehicles but isn't really in America. Why on earth does he need a luxurious $1.7 million private jet? To make his ego feel good? I mean, guys, honestly, of the people who view this channel, I think a lot of you probably have a net worth significantly higher than $1.7 million. And if you really wanted to, you can go and buy a private jet, right? Couldn't you? A lot of you could do that. But you're not idiots, and you're not doing it because it's not economically necessary or economically intelligent. Yeah. Now, Canoo said this. Canoo executives, including its CEO, have every confidence in the company. In fact, since mid-2020 and through 2023, Mr. Aquila has invested more than $350 million in the company's stock. Now, I don't know if that's actually true. I can't actually find any proof that that's true. No, neither can any site that I can find anywhere. Automotive News has no facts on that. That's just coming from Canoo. They're making that up. I personally think they have, but maybe it's true. Canoo, if you're watching this video, let us know in the comments because that sounds bogus to me. But anyway, the automaker began deliveries of its Oklahoma-produced commercial lifestyle delivery vehicles, or they call them LDVs, in December. It delivered 17 vehicles in Q4. An additional 5 that were produced in Texas earlier in the year. So it delivered a total of 22 vehicles. I mean, would you really want to give this company another $300 million to stay alive if they delivered 22 vehicles in the fourth quarter of last year? I don't know. Personally, I think if anyone was really interested in investing in the company, Canoo would have let us know who that was and how much money they were going to give them this year in order for them to stay afloat. The initial deliveries went out to a few offices in the state of Oklahoma, as well as companies King Bee and Zeba. Now, it's worth pointing out that Canoo hasn't even committed to NACS. They're one of the only companies in America that isn't interested in installing NACS chargers on their vehicles and giving their vehicle owners the ease of use of having access to the biggest supercharger network in America. Now, at this point in time, as far as I can tell, Canoo is in the commercial light truck business, but only barely, delivering 22 vehicles in the fourth quarter and continuing to lose hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars doesn't qualify you to say we're in a financial position we should just go out and buy private jets that we don't need. That is the big red flag that I see for this company. But the other red flag is this: they're burning through cash and delivering almost no vehicles. They've decided they won't be selling to normal consumers. They're only going to sell to businesses, even though most of their marketing has been around selling their pickup truck. And it's been marketed as a lifestyle vehicle for people, everyday you and me people. Now, this isn't all to say that Canoo will definitely go bankrupt. They may not. But considering that they are saying without financial funding this year, they won't be able to continue operations, they're very much hanging in the balance right now. And the reality is, if you look at the funding going into EVs this year, it's become much lower. There's a lot of perception now of risk. Now, I don't think that's fair perception. I think that actually electric cars are going to make up all car sales within 10 years' time. But the perception right now is we're in this moment where maybe EVs are not going to work out in America. It's not true, but that's what people are thinking. So whether or not they'll actually even get this funding to continue is highly debatable. Let me know what you think in the comments, and thank you for watching.